All right, folks, welcome back into the Mancast again. Ed and Chad coming back at you for episode 20. Here we are with 20. I can't believe it's already been that long, but we keep them rolling out every week, and we're going to keep it going. So for all of you who have stuck around thus far, we've got a good one for you today. It's called America's Run by Criminal Pedos, and it's Ed's birthday. Happy birthday, Ed.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of criminal pedos, I've got a birthday present for you today, Ed.
What is it?
Larry Nassar, criminal, serial, pedo rapist, piece of shit motherfucker who was covered for by the FBI for years. They were probably siphoning off his videos of his shenanigans.
Didn't he fondle and did like 200 girls or something?
I think it was more than that, hundreds. And even after the FBI knew it was 70 more before they finally put a kibosh on it because they were letting it roll. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
but he took at least six shanks to the fucking two to the back, two to the neck, two to the chest. Like somebody diced him up pretty good.
Yeah.
He's in stable condition in the ICU, but they're like, yeah, but that was probably a really nasty thing he got stabbed with. And this motherfucker's going to have some nasty infections. Probably not going to make it. We'll see. But happy birthday, Ed. And with that, I'll kick it over to you.
Thank you. I did not know about that. And I am glad to hear that because he deserves a lot worse than that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
This man was at Michigan State. He was considered like the greatest gymnastic doctor, sports doctor in the history of the Big Ten. And then as it all came out, this guy has fondled, raped hundreds of women, young girls in college age. It was shocking when it all came out, and he got what he deserves. And I can't. That's a good birthday present. I'll say that. I'll take that one, man. It's good when justice actually gets dealt out, and sometimes, that's more justice or better justice than the justice system can actually deliver sometimes. Right. That prick deserves it. And here's the thing: I don't want him to die. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. What I will wish on this motherfucker is, I hope he recovers, and then it happens again. And again and again. And I hope his life is absolute fucking torture the entire time he's in prison until he's dead.
Amen. That story is so thick and so deep, and it deserves a whole episode. So I've got notes here.
And I'm not prepared to even talk about it because I just learned about it.
Yeah. So let's maybe next time or the following, let's do an entire episode on Larry Nassar.
And you could go past that because he is not the only one. He's just the one with the most victims, but there's plenty of this shit to go around.
Right. Absolutely, man. So on I don't know, do you have a lighter note that you want to talk about before we get into some of the more horrific things we're talking about with America's criminal pedos around the show?
Well, I got nothing. It's my birthday. Having a really great day. Met a very interesting person yesterday, and I'm really happy about that. She's awesome. So, very cool. I mean, it's been a really great day for me. So, and I made a lot of money today. So I'm winning. So other than that, we can jump right into these horrible pieces of garbage and call them out for what they are. Got no issues with that. We got this one will go to another show, which it deserves. And, we could start with The Sound of Freedom and how the media this is a movie literally written by a guy who is trying to stop child sexual slavery from going on and doing the best that he can. And the media is turning on him because they don't like where he got his funding from. It's absolute insanity. This guy's actually doing a very good thing. Somebody thought to make a movie about him because he's doing something to benefit society. And the insane media, socialist left, are so angry that Mel Gibson put money into this, and that other people like Glenn Beck have been talking about it, that they want to shut this guy down. For Disney sat on this for 5 years. They had this script and didn't do anything with it because, actually, I don't know why. Because how can anybody defend this or think that this is okay, that this movie shouldn't be made, or that this movie, it's not the movie. look, if you want to, they're not critiquing the movie. They're critiquing the people that they don't like that have money into the movie. It makes no sense to me.
Well, he points out, I think, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm looking forward to it at some point, but he points out a lot in the movie, I think, uh, that America's like the biggest customer of the worldwide trade, and that it's our rich and our elite and our, all of our big people, powerful people in
Jeffrey
Hollywood,
Epstein,
and
anyone?
yeah, that are the ones that are paying for this. So it implicates the power structures, and and too many people, and it also implicates the FBI, the CIA, all these deep state actors' favorite way to entrap people, to control people. Um, yeah. Oh,
It's
just for the folks that are watching, and for you as well, Ed,
sure.
as a birthday sort of celebration kind of thing we're going to do today too is we've got our friend Jeff Slavin, our buddy from California, who we've been wanting to get on for quite a while. Should be coming in the backstage here pretty soon,
Very cool.
and he should
Looking
be
forward to
popping
that.
on with us at some point here. So I just
Jeff's
wanted to
awesome.
let everybody know. So, but yeah, anyway, the Sound of Freedom.
So, but well, America is involved in this. The elite are involved in this worldwide. The elite everywhere are involved in this. Jeffrey Epstein proved that these things are going on just by association. But one of the crown princes of Europe and England was involved in this, right? It's this happened, and it's continuing to happen. And the idea that anybody would want to shut down the movie's a celebratory movie about this one individual ex-Marine guy who wants to try to fix the problem. How anybody could have a problem with that, I find absolutely shocking. I just, for the life of me, understand it. Why would
It
you not want something like this? This crazy story about this guy and how he got involved and how he wants to get rid of this. We should all want to get rid of this, except for the crazy power pedo elites who don't want to get rid of it. It's bizarre.
everybody should be celebrating
Trying to
what this guy's
this is a
doing.
movie about protecting children from sexual slavery, for God's sake, and people have a problem with that. I can't figure it out.
I first learned about Operation Underground Railroad. That's the operation that he set up, Tim Ballard set up, and I first heard about them. I want to say it was 2016. I actually got an email. It was like a recruitment email. I think veterans. I think they were looking for veterans and people who had education and stuff like that. But I don't. I think they were probably looking for more special forces guys than they were my ass. But and probably younger as well. But there was a moment where I was like, I kind of dreamt about it. I was like, could I just finish with just get my master's right now and get out of school and go try out and do this shit. It was before I had a kid or anything. And it just intrigued me when I read the whole mission statement, what they did and what they had been doing. And by then, I think Ballard wasn't really involved himself, but the mission's going on. I mean, they're still doing it. And I was super intrigued by it from the very beginning, but I didn't really know how prolific he had been. Man, they have rescued a ton of people, not just kids, but a ton of women
Right.
and other people, slaves and stuff like that. And I just don't understand how everybody can't rally around that. Like the idea that you, Rolling Stone, you pieces of shit, Vanity Fair, all of the other outlets that have jumped in on this too, to paint this as a QAnon connected conspiracy theory thing, to try to downplay the fact that we do have an epidemic of pedophilia and of child sex trafficking. It's disgusting, man. It's just, and that tells me that Operation Mockingbird is that the CIA, the deep state, is still fully infiltrated into the media. That's, to me, it's obvious.
To me, these are the same kind of sycophantic weirdos that defended the Catholic Church when all of their stuff was exposed. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how can anybody defend a thing like that? Right. Or support the institution that knowingly knew what was going on and admitted it was going on, right? And
Right.
to try to do their mea culpa and come clean, and you think that's the worst of the scandal, and then less than 8 years later, it starts all over again because they didn't do shit. And now we have a movie about these guys who are in this individual who's absolutely an amazing human being who's trying to do the best that he can to try to help people, children in particular, women, the most vulnerable among us that are being held slave. It's sexual slavery. It's slavery in general. I imagine sexual slavery is worse somehow because you're getting raped and you're a slave. So, I mean, insult to injury. And there are people that are talking shit on it. For the life of me, I can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out.
Check this out. It's a cool like juxtaposition, really. Fucking Washington Post. So the Washington Post they tweeted out, quote, "Sound of Freedom, the low budget film about child sex trafficking, almost topped the box office on July 4th, but its star Jim Caviezel has linked to the QAnon movement." And then you go to the next one right next to it, and this is from 9/17/2020, and it says from the Washington Post, "Perspective, Cuties is an unflinching look at what it means to be a preteen girl. No wonder people can't handle it." So here's a movie of little girls running around in skimpy ass clothes, completely sexualizing them, and they cover for that, but they bag on this absolute fucking dog, this legend of a man who's out there saving children from horrific, situations. It just makes my fucking skin crawl, Ed.
Yeah, it makes my blood boil. It just irritates me on a level that's hard to explain. If we can, as a society, stop sexualizing our children, then we deserve to be damned and doomed. Period. I can't think of anything that is more insidious and awful than taking advantage of children in any way, let alone in a sexual way. It makes me lost for words. It just gets me so ginned up because it is so uncomfortable that this even happens at all. And we have a hero here who's stepping up to try to do something about it, and they're bagging on him. It's shocking to me. It's absolutely shocking.
Rolling Stone, quote, "Review, Sound of Freedom, the QAnon tinged thriller about child trafficking, is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer." I mean, they're just fucking like, "Hey, you're just a bunch of old conspiracy-addled fucks," like. I just, man. So let's talk about Rolling Stone for a second. Do you remember the Duke Lacrosse case?
Oh, I do remember the Duke Lacrosse.
Wasn't that Rolling Stone?
Yep.
Wasn't that Rolling Stone who ran with a fake ass story that almost like destroyed a bunch of boys' lives?
Well, it absolutely destroyed the entire lacrosse team's lives. And as it turns out, and you remember that thing got so deep and so wicked that the attorney general for the state knew the whole thing was a lie all along. He got popped and ended up in prison.
Right.
But those young men, all of them, their lives have been destroyed. It's never been the same. There was a documentary done, like 10 years after or what had happened to them. And it wasn't good. And they literally did none of the things that they were accused of.
Just a couple years back, a highly noted journalist from Rolling Stone, the FBI raided his house, bunch of kiddie porn, and he just quietly left, and they didn't even tell their readers about it. Just like, right. Let's not talk about that.
Well, it's because he didn't go to Duke. He wasn't a white
Rolling Stone.
He wasn't a privileged person.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He worked at Rolling Stone, being overpaid for right. He's one of them, and that's the problem. We have a lot of these monsters hiding all over the place, and that's what's really going on here, right? Somebody's trying to shed a shining light on what's really happening, and the powers that be need to shut it down. Because there is a lot of this going on. It's deeper than most of us have ever even thought or even wanted to think about it happening. And it is a very difficult thing to try to wrap your mind around, that people, particularly elitist people and in very powerful positions around the world, want to have sex with children. It's disgusting.
Coming for your children.
Oh my God. Right. It's just what? So yeah, that one's got my blood boiling. I don't know what to do about it. I'm going to support. I'm going to watch the movie. And a lot of some of what's going on here is they literally, Mel Gibson has done some really stupid shit. Let's just be honest about that. He's gone on some crazy drunken rants and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's pissed
He's
the
kind
media
of
off.
mentally unstable. I think we can all
He
agree.
is. And he's pissed the
I think
media
he's a genuinely good man. I think
I
he's
think so
just
too.
a little unwell sometimes.
Yeah. His inkwell's going dry a little bit, but I think overall he's probably a good person. But the media for a long time now just doesn't like him. They just don't. And when they
He's a
found out
Christian,
that he had
Passion of the Christ,
yeah,
Christianity, all that. Yeah.
right, and they just don't like that, and they don't like him. So I think they're going after him that way, and I think that so. Because when you read any of the critiques about what's going on here, none of them are critique. Look, all movies are open to a critique, just like music or any kind of art, right? So, but none of the things that I've read, not a single thing says that this isn't cinematically filmed well, or that the acting isn't good, or that the script is terrible. None of those things apply. They're not even talking about the movie itself. They're talking about the content overall and the people who are involved, or the people they don't like who are involved with funding this project. What does that have to do with whether this is a good movie or not? Nothing.
Yeah, it's just all a smear campaign.
The whole thing.
And I just think if
it reeks too. I mean, I think though, fortunately, I do believe that most people know this is bullshit. So I just hope that that the elitists just keep doing this over and over and over again, because more and more people are starting to wake up and just go, this is garbage, man.
It does help. Yeah.
It does. So go ahead, guys. Just,
keep looking stupid.
Cut your nose off to despite your face, right? Go right ahead and do it, man. Looking forward to it. Just keep going, because the more they do this, the more people that open their eyes. And fortunately, more and more people are starting to, because COVID really kicked people in a direction where they're still trying to recover for feeling bad about being fooled so easily. And I think a lot of other stuff now is coming under the regular normal people's purview and going, what else are they lying to me about? What the hell else is really going on here? And that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Man, we could keep going with this, but I wanted to ask you, did you see that video I sent you, the Breakfast Club, or did you get a chance to catch up with the?
Oh yeah. I watched that this morning. It was those women were vicious. They tore her apart, and they were dead on the money, man. They killed her, absolutely destroyed, and it was 100% true. That when I was first watching it, I thought that the whole thing was a joke. Like, I didn't believe for 1 second that the woman.
I'm talking about the 8th grade.
I thought it was a skit. I thought it was like a skit that they were all in on together. And then I realized that woman really meant what the hell she was asking Ramaswamy about. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What? But the Breakfast Club women, the third one that spoke, she nailed exactly what was going on.
Marxism.
I mean, yep. Yeah. It's just so ridiculous. I give him a lot of credit for not just getting up and walking the hell out, going, this is idiotic.
He, like I said, he proved that he was the only adult in the room.
Absolutely. And then her second on the show, or whatever that guy's job is over there, getting all pissed off at him and stuff. Like, what is your problem, bro? This guy is being congenial and is doing the best he can to answer a question. And I'm really sorry that he wasn't the 8th grade president of the middle school. What the hell?
They didn't fight for school lunch in 6th grade like you supposedly did. Oh, and I'm sorry, he didn't join the chair force.
He refused. He refused to be a crossing guard.
Yeah, she probably worked in the fucking mailroom on some Air Force depot. Like this lady. You didn't serve like me. I was in the service. I fucking hate that so much, dude. Like, yeah, as a veteran myself. Sit the fuck down with that. You got a paycheck, bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't do it for free.
She was paid. That girl had me cracking up when she was busting her balls about that.
Well, that chick was a veteran too, so she was like, "Fuck
Oh
you with
yeah,
that.
she was
Come
all
at
on
me
it.
with that."
She blew her
Yeah.
up, man. But the because I don't know their names, but the woman who was the lead for the Breakfast Club show, it's just flat out calling her a bitch, man. She was not
Well,
playing
no.
at
The
all.
Breakfast Club is the show they were
Oh,
watching.
okay.
I don't
My
know
bad.
who those ladies are. They're just some random. Those are three random black chicks I've never seen before who have a little podcast they do, and they were discussing that. But you know what?
That was
I've
hilarious. They're
seen.
great.
I,
I would like to see more from those ladies. They were
dude,
funny.
they are, and I plan to actually watch more of them. I've started following them. But anyway, so if you just Google that interview on Breakfast Club, you will have a never ending list of black people outraged by that. Like, this is bullshit. Like, they're calling them out. Like, as
Good.
fellow black people, y'all look fucking stupid. Y'all look like clowns. And I love it. I mean, it isn't just the Hodges twins, it isn't just like the typical conservative blacks. It's like a fuckload of people who are kind of more middle road are just like, no.
No, we're done
This
here.
is not cool.
And it's not cool. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the simple idea that this man is running for president of the United States and currently on the Republican side, and he's third in voting, and he really doesn't have much of a shot. But he is a brilliant man, and he's
He's a
got
legitimate, serious
very
person.
the man is involved with. He put 5 drugs through his own biotech company that he built. And one of those drugs has literally saved tens of thousands of men from dying from prostate cancer. How is
Saved a
that a
bunch of
bad
little
thing?
kids. Saved a bunch of kids who had congenital diseases too
That's
that
right.
would have died otherwise.
I mean, this guy's literally saved, unlike Anthony Fauci, this guy actually saves lives.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
you're going to try to destroy him. But again, just like with the Sound of Freedom, it totally backfired. And they are eating shit now. And
Well,
that's the
what's
best
funny?
part of it, right? People are
What's funny
starting
is
to push back hard. They're like, we're done now, man. This is garbage.
he only hit her with that shit because that was all it took. But you know what's funny is that he was a high school valedictorian at like a very elite school. He went on to like
He went
I think
to Xavier, then he went to Harvard Medical School. I mean, what
I
the
know.
hell, man?
I mean, what do you want from the guy, dude? Like, oh yeah, you I guess you weren't class president like Chris Christie. He was the valedictorian. Sorry, he was too busy fucking being smart and learning and doing well to fucking, run for some stupid political office.
Sorry, I built a biotech company that's literally saved through our drug introductions, five drugs that save children and cancer patients' lives. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have no idea how to get things done.
That woman was like, it was like being at the DMV sometimes. Like, it was like, I felt like sometimes I feel like I'm Vivek Ramaswamy if I'm at the DMV though. It's the same kind of like run around bullshit. You're saying a bunch of shit and it doesn't mean anything. You're just talking out your ass.
And they sounded idiotic. I mean, that's why I thought it was a skit, because it was so dumb. I mean, dumb. And they look stupid as hell. And that guy knew that it was going sideways, and that's why he tried to jump in and try to protect her, because she was making a complete ass out of herself.
Why don't you let her finish her question about the 8th grade?
Right. Seriously. That's what we're talking about here. Chad, I know you're running for president, but didn't you strike out and lose the game in the 3rd grade in the bottom of the 7th inning at your T-ball league? I mean, shit. It was really juvenile and stupid, for sure.
Lame.
So, but like you said, the pushback has been palpable, and everybody is crushing them. No one is on their side here, and it's fun to watch. Who's that guy? Tim, the podcaster, is real big. Tim Pool. When he had that woman on from that socialist podcast, she did the same thing. She made such an ass out of herself.
Yeah.
He destroyed her with literally without even raising his voice. That was a total destruction. But if you go, when you watch that video and you watch, and this is right along that line, Literally no one agreed with her. I mean, nobody. Even people who identify as like a democratic socialist are like, bitch, you're stupid. What the hell are you even talking
Right. You're
about?
making us all look bad.
Just shut up and go away. And so,
and at the end, she just had to resort to like just slander and and just telling him he was a fascist or some shit.
right. So
Yeah.
right. She got backed into a corner, and there was no good look for her. She pretty much tried to tell him how his business was running. And then she was wrong about everything she thought of how he was running his business. And that's the problem with the socialist is they don't know how to run a business at all. And so they've been around like twice as long as him. And they have almost as many viewers as him, and they can't convert it into money. And they're mad at him because he knows how to do that. That's what she's really pissed off about. Because what did she say? We're in your compound, Tim. Yeah, because Tim's rich as fuck because he knows what he's doing and you don't.
And she was mad that he didn't show her the skate park, the indoor skate park. It's like,
right.
Yeah, you're just mad because you don't have one.
Right. You got smart. Nothing. Right. You should be richer than Tim at this point. And you can't figure out how to turn what you're doing into currency. And he does. He knows what he's doing. And how does he do it?
A lot of people too.
Right. She wanted to make it seem like that these corporate overlords of rich, capitalists are the ones funding him. And no, he's like, no, that's total bullshit, man. It's all in memberships. That's what we're doing here. And she did not want to believe that, but it's absolutely true. And he could prove it. That's the thing. A man who actually, or a woman who actually knows how to run a business can easily prove the things that they're saying because they know what they're doing. And the idiot who doesn't know what they're doing just looks like a bigger idiot trying to prove something that they don't even know what they're talking about. It's kind of like the drunk guy got a half a buzz on and jumps into a conversation with 3 fucking heart surgeons acting like he knows something about heart surgery when he's not even a doctor. Shut up. Just shut up.
So, he makes money on merch. He makes money on I know he's
got a couple 100,000 paid membership at $10 a pop. He's pulling in a lot of money from that, man.
He has a news team that does a website. They have advertisers on there. They've got advertisers on you. They've got advertisers on all their platforms.
He was just and he was a skateboarder, right? Like wasn't he a pro skateboarder?
He happened to work for Vice. He was a reporter for Vice when they were cool, back when they used to be cool.
Right when Vice started, they were actually a really cool site.
They used to do edgy shit and
real journalism instead of falling into the corporate media crap.
Socialist bullshit. Yeah. But anyway, that's about enough of Tim Pool.
I was just using that as an example that more and more, not the podcasters or the people doing the shows like us, when you go to the comment sections and you see everybody pushing back on this stuff now, it gives me hope, right? That people are just, look, we're done here. And a lot of that, and that's going through a whole, through all kinds of segment of society now. The left is running into the extreme left. I don't mean regular Democrats, the middle of the road people or centrists. I'm talking about the nut jobs here on both sides. They've run their mouths for so long. People are so weary and tired of it that they're finally starting to push back in ways that I was not expecting. And I'm glad to see it. That's all I'm saying.
I have something else that I think I should share with you for your birthday.
Sure.
It's a tweet that I retweeted from Elon Musk. It's on our show page, and it has 436,000 likes, 58.5 thousand retweets, and I'm one of those retweets. And it is, I quote, "Zuck is a cuck."
That's awesome.
My fucking guy. And you know what? He's pissed because of this whole Threads thing is a total ripoff of Twitter. But the funniest part is it sucks. And people who've downloaded and tried it, they're like, "Oh, this is trash," and they're leaving it like quick. And I've seen nothing but negative reviews about it.
So great.
And here's the thing: I shared a meme on there too, and it's that meme where it's the salesman trying to sell the car, and he's like, this thing will do whatever, and it's like he's like, it's a picture of Threads, their little logo, and it says it. It's just like Twitter, only with more censorship.
Oh my God, that's great. So this is, let's face it. The irony here is that by no account can you call Elon Musk a conservative or a Republican, even, right?
No.
And the left is starting to hate him because he believes in the principles of the Constitution, and that the government has no right to shut down anybody's speech. And when he bought Twitter, that's what he was doing. And
He bought it
they
for that
did
reason.
everything they could to make it look like a joke, make it look like he didn't know what he was doing. That's how he became a billionaire, by the way, is because he doesn't know what he's doing. So
One of the richest men on the planet.
right. And everything that they thought was going to happen, or every, in their fantasy world that was going to destroy Musk and make him look bad, they were 100% wrong about, like they often are. And they're still mad about it. And so they're trying to turn him in. It's almost like they're trying to say, like, Elon Musk voted for Joe Biden, right? I mean, I've seen stories about him where they're saying that he's supporting Trump, but there's no corroborating evidence that that's even remotely
All
true.
he said was he would give Trump his Twitter account back because he thinks
he
a
has
top
the right
leader
to
on
say
the other
what
side of the
that's
fucking
right.
Republican Party should get a voice.
Right. That's it. He didn't say he's going to vote for him or that he's going to go to Mar-a-Lago and play golf or do anything. He's just saying that I'm not shutting him down because I'm not shutting anybody down.
He won't let Alex Jones back on. I mean, he has lines, but it's just that Donald Trump was the president and could very well be again.
Right.
You can't fucking silence that man as much as you may hate him. I'm tired of that motherfucker too. I wish the sumbitch would go away. But you know what? Millions and millions of people want to vote for him. So if we're supposed to have a democracy, well, don't let the motherfucker speak.
Right. You don't have to like what he has to say, and how you fix that is you just don't vote for him. I don't know why that's hard for people, right?
Bingo.
I don't like what comes out of his mouth most of the time either. He's a bully. I fucking hate bullies. I say it all the time. So I'm not going to vote for the prick, but it doesn't mean that I want his voice shut down. He has the right to say what he wants to say, just like anybody who's running for office.
If he ends up like convicted and jailed, running from jail, I'm gonna vote for him just because I think that's hilarious.
The first convicted president of the United States. Could you imagine? You know how cool it would be to be sworn in from Leavenworth to be the president of the United States?
Then he just immediately pardons himself. And
Get the
walks out.
popcorn, bro. That would be like that. I would love that, man. I would have so much. I would. You know what they should do is, if that happens, then we should make Trump's presidency a reality show, because I can't think of anything that would be better than that.
It's perfect for Trump. He's a reality show guy.
If we're going to be the biggest clown nation in the world, let's put the biggest clown in charge of this whole fucking thing. Why do we care at this point? It's become so absurd.
It really has. So I would actually prefer it to be RFK, because I think he has a similar viewpoint of the deep state as Trump, but he actually has the surgical ability to fix the problem. He understands the system. He understands the beast. He knows, he's a learned person who actually is willing to read and study and prepare his case, whereas Trump is not. That was always my biggest bitch about Trump, when like they were really wrong and they were persecuting him, and I'm like, why are you making me defend this motherfucker? But my biggest bitch was like, he can't even defend himself half the time. All he can do is just throw petty jabs and shit like that. It's just like with the last debate with Biden, and he was bringing up the Hunter laptop, and it's like, yo, dumb fuck. And I said it right then and there. This would have been really fucking easy. Why didn't your team just buy Hunter Biden's crackheadlaptop.com and just post the shit on there, and then at the debate go, I want everybody to go right now to Hunter's crackheadlaptop.com to verify everything I'm saying? And that would have been a slam dunk.
Yep.
But he just feels like he can go out there off the cuff, and he probably doesn't even practice for these
no
things, you know,
and that's and that's a lot of his unlikability, is it doesn't seem that he took a lot of the stateliness of the way you should appear, right? That he didn't take it very seriously. And I really don't think he did, because Trump is such an egomaniac that he thinks that his way is the only fucking way, and there can't possibly be a better way to do something than the way that it's in his head. And
And
he's
it's made him
totally
a lot
wrong
of
about
money.
that.
So I
Well,
mean,
right. I mean, the man's successful. I mean, you can't. You may hate that. You may hate that he's
right.
successful, but he is.
I just mean it'd be easy to talk yourself into that. Like, I guess if you're a narcissist like he is, to go, why do I need to change anything? I'm
I'm
successful as
perfect.
fuck.
I mean,
I'm also like the president too now. Like,
right.
so what fucking, I'm a billionaire, I'm a president, I have a supermodel wife, my daughter's rich as fuck, my son's, like everybody pretty much a fucking baller at this point. Like, should I really change anything? Probably not. But again, you got beat and you're not president anymore, and there's
But
a reason why.
it does leave one interesting question that needs to be asked, though, is how somebody that has that kind of success, money, fame, becomes president of the United States, and he still can't figure out how to grow hair. That's the greatest
What do you
comb over in the
mean? You
history
don't
of the
think that's
world, man.
real?
That's the greatest comb over ever, man. It's so silly. It just looks so goddamn silly. So I'm not a fan of his. I get, I mean, Trump certainly is more hated by women, and I get it from their perspective, because he just comes across as such a douchey fucking asshole, especially towards women. He really has this really grating thing about his personality when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you and I said it the whole time he was president, dude, could you just shut the fuck up for 1 minute? Like, stop tweeting. Like, when you're taking a shit in the morning, dude, we don't need to know about it. Stop tweeting fucking everything. But he is the greatest troll in the history of the world. You got to give him that. No one can make the elites and media's heads explode better than Trump.
Epic troll. The debates. He's a comedian.
Oh, for sure.
He's quick with the wit, like that kind of stuff, and like his timing is really good, and like he's a TV personality, man. That's what he is, and he was really good at marketing.
He literally was a TV personality on a show called The Apprentice for years, on top of everything else that he did.
So there's that, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to see us move on from the man, but I don't
see it happening.
It's not happening. He's going to win the Republican nomination, and fuck, he may be president again. And we're going to see civil war or some shit, because
it's going to go crazy, man.
It's all going to melt down again.
Yep. I would really,
man,
so, and we've had this conversation numerous times. I would really, and they're not going to do it, because the people who are actually running the show are the people that you never really see. And they don't mind somebody like Joe Biden, because he's pliable. They know that he doesn't know what he's doing, and they don't care that he doesn't know what he's doing, because he's not really doing anything. They are. And so here's the thing too.
That's coming to an end, though. He's getting a little bit of a liability at this point.
Yeah, right. But even with like Hillary, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. I don't think that the real elites cared that Trump was going to beat her, because they saw her as just about a player as him. She's probably the most despicable, most unliked politician in our lifetime. She is really a nasty, nasty woman. She's just not a good human being. And I think people knew that. I just don't think that the powers that be thought that Trump was going to get the fucking nomination. We sure didn't. We were laughing about it. We thought, because we were making jokes. Man, give me the popcorn, right? This dude's going to be running for the presidency. I never thought he was going to get through.
I think they thought Hillary would have beat him. I think that.
Oh no! When he became the nomination, I think so too. But I don't.
But they underestimated the fact that she was so
unlikable,
disgusting to the regular people.
I ain't no ways tired.
Yeah, everybody sees right through her bullshit.
And then of course, everything that was going on with her laptop, and people are not as fooled oftentimes as we think they are, right? That whole the destroying the bleach, beating the server and smashing the phones, that played hard against her, man. People knew that she was covering shit up, because there's no other reason to do that. There's no rational thing. Did you ever hear Jeff Zuckerberg? Is that his name? Jeff Zucker.
Zucker.
Did you ever hear him on God damn, I'm so bad with names. The Iranian guy.
Patrick Bet David.
Right. Did you ever see him on his show? Now, Patrick did a great job pushing back on him, but Zucker was defending the things that Hillary were doing and was literally lying. He got called out for it. I mean, Pat was like, no. That is absolutely not true. I mean, he was pushing back hard. Zuckerberg is a complete fucking tool. He literally, farts, he smells, and he thinks it's the best smell he ever smelled in his life, right? He enjoys the smell of his own farts because he thinks he is infallible. The interview was good because Pat destroyed him, but he sounded like a complete ass. Now he's very calm. And so he comes across as rational, but the things he was saying were completely unrational.
I got you.
I'm just glad that Pat pushed back against him.
So, Jeff has just informed me he's having an issue coming on, so I don't think we're going to get him on tonight. But
we will get Jeff Slavin on.
Not only will we get him on, but I'm going to, at some point this week, I'll do a dry run with him so we can make sure it works out, and then we'll get him on next time. So that stinks, but it's all good. Yeah, so let's talk about
Hunter's issues.
Hunter Biden's issues? What? He has issues? What are you talking about?
So we had a conversation in pre-production, and you brought up a very interesting point, and I think should be retold. That for anybody who believes in Joe Biden, or that the general people in the Biden family, the brothers and the son and all this, the wife, that these are good people, then somebody please explain to me how Joe Biden and his entire family, including Hunter, refused to recognize a 4-year-old little girl as a Biden when we literally have DNA evidence to prove that she is. It is abhorrent. These people they're despicable, absolutely despicable. Mm-hmm. They're treating this girl like she is a pariah and not worth even acknowledging. It's disgusting.
Her name is Navy Joan Roberts, and she is a little 4-year-old girl. And Hunter knocked up her mother, who was a stripper, and I don't think she is anymore, but I think she's been making some pretty good payments for child support. But nonetheless, Hunter sought to lower the child support payment and to block the little girl, his little daughter that he doesn't acknowledge, block her from taking his name.
Right.
Even though it's been through DNA testing, been proven that it's his.
He's the guy.
She says, yep. So won't let her have the name, and has got the payments reduced for child support. And Joe Biden still continues to this day to tell his speechwriters that he only has six grandchildren, not 7. And finally, the New York Times recently came out with a piece that has brought this up and said, no, Mr. President, you have 7, which is also another obvious sign that they're getting ready to abandon this man.
There's a lot of signs. Again, when people ask me if I think Joe Biden's doing a good job as president, well, the answer to that is Joe Biden's not doing a good job doing anything. He's senile. He doesn't know.
Dog-faced pony soldier.
Right. And I think Joe Biden's a despicable human being. And I always have. I mean, he's a racist. We have the proof of that. Mm-hmm. He's a liar because he's been caught plagiarizing more times than you can shake a stick at. It literally ruined. And this is how our media has got it so totally wrong. The media in 1988 destroyed Joe Biden for plagiarizing. Dan Rather called him out on national television and destroyed his run. It was over in that moment because they were actually doing reporting, and they didn't care that because Dan Rather, was it Dan Rather? Maybe it was.
I believe it was.
Okay, we'll go with that. But they did the investigation. They knew that he was plagiarizing. And instead of even talking to him or anything, they just went on the nightly world news and destroyed that clown. And he deserved it. And then the Post and the Times and everybody picked it up the next day, and they destroyed him too. And it was ended. And he was a Democrat. And they were too. But then the Democrats in the establishment were not willing to cover and lie for people, and they're willing to do that now. And that's the difference to me.
Well, he said at the time that was the only time he'd ever done it. And then I think it was Connie Chung actually went back there and found more
no.
incidents. It's like, no, here you go. There's some more and some more and some more. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I graduated. I graduated.
Well, then there was all those lies
with 3 different degrees, and it turns out none of that was true.
Yeah, there was all those lies as well.
So he's obviously a liar. You know, all the popcorn bullshit where he's some tough guy, that's all made up. All of it's garbage. None of it's true. And so, but my point still stands. Media today covers for that kind of stuff. Actually, we're covering for his crackhead kid, right? Mm-hmm. And they act like none of this is true and none of this is happening. When it comes to Hunter Biden, I don't care what your political stance is. That guy has a mountain of evidence against him. There is no denying that everything here is true about him. You know how we know? Because we have hours of video of him all cracked the hell out of his head, having sex with prostitutes and talking shit, because that's what he did. So
we have a myriad of whistleblowers who've come forward to say, not only is your chapter and verse of how they were doing the crimes, but then you have other whistleblowers from the specific departments of the government that stonewalled it coming forward and saying, yeah, I'm from that department. And yeah, we fucking stonewalled it.
Yep.
And like, how many more data points do you need to see there's a conspiracy afoot, for fuck's sake?
So, because, riddle me this, Batman. How in the hell does somebody decide not to pay their taxes on a couple of few $1 million and then walk away with a sweetheart deal where he doesn't even have to pay any penalties or fines, just the original amount that was owed? When did that ever happen in America? Like, never until
not
now.
Just that, but when do they drag their feet on an IRS investigation for so long that the even worse charges that could have been had
can't be had
because that now fall off because of statute of limitations.
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, all this nonsense between – this is how you know that everything is being covered for. To continue to say that the investigator on this was appointed by the Attorney General in Delaware, the Assistant Attorney General that was put on the case was appointed by Trump. Just because Trump appointed someone doesn't mean that – so which one is it? That all Trump appointees are dastardly horrible people? Or the guy who is helping cover for the Bidens because he's a career bureaucrat politician himself. Now, all of a sudden, because Trump appointed him, clearly there's no bias here. Which one is it? Right? So it's all this double speak, all this, cloak and dagger crap to try to obfuscate what is obvious to everyone. But again, this seems to be our theme tonight. People are pushing back. They've had it. They know they're being lied to, and they're done.
Number one Jeopardy question I would ask anybody is the person who makes little children highly uncomfortable by the way he touches them and sniffs their hair, the person who took inappropriate showers with his daughter, which was detailed in her
own diary.
The person who has been alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman named Tara Reid, the person who kisses all of his grandchildren on the lips and had to have his daughter ask him not to do it anymore in public, but yet refuses to stop doing it with his granddaughters, kisses them on the lips every damn time. The person who his own son has him on speed dial on his phone as Pedo Peter. And we know his name with the Secret Service is something Peter. I can't remember, but he has him on there as Pedo Peter.
Right. Nothing to see here.
Ed? What's your answer, Ed? Who is
Joe Biden for it, though?
Ding, 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 ding. You've won the daily double, sir. And with that, I would like to play, speaking of pedos, I'd like to play for you this wonderful Jeopardy little clip here. The guy's name is Professor Derek Jensen, and it's called Queer Theory Jeopardy.
Oh, here
Let's
we
enjoy
go.
this little amazing piece here.
Never ceases to amaze me. Somebody as busy as you always manage to find time to find this freaky, weird shit on the internet, bro.
I'm usually working with earphones in my head, and I'm just hearing shit all the time. So, all right, here you go.
There is a long correlation between anarchism and pedophilia and support for pedophilia.
Something relevant, please.
Oh, wait. That's a beautiful line. Thank you so much for asking. How about something relevant? I've been talking about rape culture all day, and pedophilia and the support of pedophilia is not rape culture? Actually, it seems you're acting like this is a spurious connection. So we're going to play Jeopardy. We're going to play queer theory. We're going to play queer theory pedophilia Jeopardy. Okay, answer. Commonly called the godfather of queer theory.
Who is Foucault?
Who is Foucault?
I got it.
Okay, 100 points. Foucault. Another way to ask this is who argued, no, I guess the answer would be, argued for the eradication of age of consent laws as in down to infants.
Who is Foucault?
Thank you.
Okay, next one.
I'm going to pause it right there because it was the founder of queer theory, who was Foucault, the person who argued for the age of consent laws to be brought down all the way to that of an infant, who is Foucault. He moves on.
The author of the founding document of queer theory.
Who is Gail Rubin?
Who is Gail Rubin? What percentage? No, the answer is 50%. Question is?
The amount in that article that was a defense of pedophilia, specifically, quote, boy lovers, so men fuck boys.
Oh. And since you're not believing me, quote, this is in the
So he says the founder of the writer of the founding documents of queer theory, and it's this Gail, what did he say? Gail Jensen? Let me hear it one more time.
Pedophilia, specifically, quote, boy lovers.
Who is Gail Rubin?
Gail Rubin. And then the next question is 50% of, or Gail Rubin, I can't remember how he puts it, but the answer is 50% of the document is about pedophilia. So it's normalizing it. And then he goes on to actually do a quote from it. So let's hear that.
Boy lovers are so stigmatized that it is difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties, let alone for their erotic orientation. That's in the founding document of queer theory.
Boy lovers, what's he say? Boy lovers are, let's hear it again.
Are so stigmatized that it is difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties.
They're so stigmatized that it's difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties.
Yes.
And it goes on like it's amazing. I'll play the rest of it for the audience on the video here, just in case we don't have enough time. I'm going to hold off from the rest of it because we're getting close to our wrap. Before we get too much further down the road, I do want to say that I made a well, do you want to talk about that real quick first before
Well,
you probably had a thought.
I find it very interesting. One of the things that I'd like to say is, and we've been talking about, the whole pedo weird stuff and talk about the Sound of Freedom and listen to that video. No matter what anybody thinks, I'm not trying to be real solemn here, but anytime, anywhere, any day, I'm going to go to bat for the kids. I don't care whose feelings are hurt. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you decide never to talk to me again. I don't actually, if my defense of children and us bringing this to attention on our podcast to try to get people to understand what's really going on here, if that offends you in any way, I don't want you to subscribe. I don't want you to like, and I don't want you in my life. So and there is nobody in my life that would even be bothered. They would be on our side, obviously. And I think the general public they find all of this abhorrent because it is. But I find it very frightening and very scary that there is a large apparatus, much larger and more powerful than we even know, who are going to continue to do this until they're stopped. And I mean stopped, probably with a bullet, and they're not going to quit.
And a bullet is what they all need. There's no doubt about that.
So I had a friend of mine many years ago, Pat. He was a good guy, good man. But he used to always say to me, when it came to pedos, he had a particular hatred for them, and so do I. But he used to always say, people, when he was talking about criminals and pedophiles and rapists and these sorts of things, that all people can be redeemed. Most people can be redeemed. Not all people can be redeemed. And he used to always say, people with no redeeming social value should ever be let free again under any circumstances for any reason. And I never forgot him telling me that. And this is well over 25 years ago now. And I couldn't agree more to this day. If you have zero social value, then we're going to lock your ass up and you're never coming out. And that's the way it should be. There's no pedo that should ever be released from prison. They cannot be fixed. It's an impossibility. Rapists can't be fixed. People with sexual deviancy like that can't ever be fixed. Why do we let them out of prison? They always reoffend. The recidivism rate of rapists and pedophiles is damn near 100%.
It is. And, I'm not a life without parole guy, but I will say that, as far as pedos are concerned, it should be a lifelong situation until we figure out some way that's more,
or even if we're going to let them out, wear your ankle monitor at a cost of $1,000 a month, and you can't be any further away from, we can monitor you. You're on a computer screen. We know where you're at all the time. But that's not, I don't even like that idea. Just keep them in prison. Yeah. Actually, just put them in prison and tell the general population what they did, and the problem will take care of itself.
Like Larry Nassar, you get a couple of holes dotted in you, start leaking.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And we'll sew you back up, and they can do it again. So we are coming up against
whoever causes one of these little ones, man. The verse about the greatest sin, whoever receives one of what is it? Something about whoever hurts one of these little ones can be put a millstone around their neck and drown in the depths of the sea. That's the way I feel.
There you go.
Let's get all biblical on them bastards.
So, much as I'd hate to cut this out, we are running up against our hard end. We got to finish this up. So, thanks for all the cool birthday presents. It was awesome. Good conversation. Really had a good time.
I got one thing I got to clean up from the last episode.
Okay.
I was talking shit about giving constitutional law classes, and I misspoke about the order of the articles. Article 1 is of course the legislative branch. Article 2 is the executive. Article 3 is the judicial. And I can't believe I forgot that, because I used to teach my students the acronym LEJ, L-E-J. It sounds like legislation. It was how they could remember the order. And I can't believe I forgot my own acronym. Anyway, so with that,
I'm going to say this. Thank you for cleaning that up. We always say when we get something wrong, even with small end. And I was never going to bring that up because I never even noticed, to be perfectly honest with you.
I was listening back and I was like, fuck, I screwed that up.
So, thanks for everybody.
After talking shit.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate the birthday wishes and stuff. I had a great time tonight, as we always do. We are always going to try to fight the good fight. Please subscribe, hit the like button, knock us out, ask us questions, whatever. We're all about it. And if you're a pedo and I come across you, it's not going to be nice.
I'll poke some holes in you. And cheers to you, Ed. Happy birthday again, brother. Good to see your face again, even if it ain't in person, although I'm only about a month away from
That's right. You'll be here, and then we'll be doing a special broadcast when that happens, just like when I was back in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago, and we did one then. So
hells yeah. So
everybody, thank you very much, and peace out.
Peace out, folks. Later.